So this is my review of the brand new In-Cosmetics machine called NOIR, and I'm just going to go through a few reasons why I love the machine and I think that it would work for a lot of PMU artists out there. The first thing that I want to talk about is how small the machine is. If you compare it to my hand, it is a little dinky machine, which for me it's super important because I travel a lot. So for me, I love to have a machine that's not clunky and super big, and it's quite easy to fit into my travel case. So this machine fits perfectly. Also the handpiece, you know, it's really not big at all. It's quite a small handpiece. It fits in my hand really well. It's super lightweight, which I feel like is a bit of an issue with some of the machines out there at the moment. They're quite heavy. So this one is really lightweight and it's not thick, it's very thin. So it fits in your hand really well and you can barely feel the pen in your hand, which is amazing. Another reason why I think it's super different to other machines is on the pen, you've got the measurement as to how far out the needle is. So for me, this is really important when I teach my students as well, just to really understand how far the needle is out. I thought that I was out 2 mil a lot of the time, but I'm actually out about 1.6, 1.7. So that's a really good aspect that this machine has got compared to others as well. So now let's talk about the settings on the machine. So you can adjust this to what treatment that you're doing. So you can click brows, medical, lip, eyeliner, and also meso. This means you can do mesotherapy with it as well. You can add in the needles that correspond to that treatment, which is really good. And obviously you can adjust the speed. You can go up to the highest, which is 250. You can also go down all the way to 50, which is a minimum and maximum range. So I'd recommend being somewhere in the middle for your treatments, but this is a really good little machine to adjust and personalize it for your clients' skin types. So I want to explain to you guys the different needles that you can get with this machine. One of the really important points when I'm looking for a new machine is I need to have a diverse choice of the different needles that I can use. I love using 1-point needles, so I want to have a good choice of the different thicknesses that I can get. For example, you can get your nano needles. So you've got your nano here, 0.18, which is your very, very fine nano needles, which is going to be best for your hair strokes. You can also get your nano 0.25. These are also really good for your hair strokes, meaning it's a little bit thicker. So the higher the diameter, the thicker the needle, meaning the more colour and pigment you're going to implant into the skin. So the skinnier diameters are going to be great for your fine lines and your hair strokes. You can get your 0.3, one needle. This are really good for your thicker lines and also really good for your shading. You get a lot more pigment in, especially for lips and ombre brows. And then my favourite you get for lips, 0.4 diameter. These are really good for shading in a lot in quite quickly. Not best for lines because you're going to create a thicker line. So for your lips and your ombre, your 3 and your 4 are really good. So I'll show you a demonstration on the latex of the different thicknesses, but I hope this helped. So I now want to show you a visual of the different thicknesses. So on my right hand side I have the 0.18, which is the nano needle, and on my left I have the 0.3. So both of them out together you can see the difference, which is a really good visual for you to see. The 0.18, which is the nano, this one here, definitely going to be best for your sharper, more finer lines. And your 0.3, which is a little bit thicker on this side here, will be best for your shading and shading in larger areas. So just so you can really understand the difference. So I'm now going to demonstrate how to put the needle in the machine and how the different thicknesses work. So the cartridges are screw in, which are really good because they make sure it's super secure. They're not going to sort of get loose when you're working with them, they stay very sturdy. When you turn the machine on, the needle will come out of the cartridge. So I'm just going to adjust my needle. Let me see, just a little bit less to what it is now. I'm going to use it at 1.7. This is a 0.3 needle, so the thickness would be best for shading in larger areas, such as lips, or if you want to create thicker lines for your hair strokes. So you can see you get a fair amount of pigment actually implanted into the skin. So it's going to be a lot quicker to finish your shading treatments. Just using Vaseline to take that excess pigment off. So you can see you do get a lot of saturation with this 3 diameter. So I'm going to show you how to do a hair stroke now, or a line. Again, you get a lot of saturation in that